Okay, I'm back. So, Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realized that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glanced over, and it looks like she's reading from my. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just. Wait, baby. Wait, what? Yuri, you really don't have to apologize. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against yours. Then I hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy, and we each lean in a little bit. Our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. By holding it like this, we're huddled close together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Eh? To turn the page. Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, we continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently lets go of the page, letting it flutter all over her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second-guessed the things she say and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't exchange. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yeah, something is kind of odd about Yuri. Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. No, well, you can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand in her chest, as to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. That's weird. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? That's weird. Yuri's never done that. I don't think Yuri's done that in the other Let's Play. Has she done that before? That's kind of weird. but that's kind of a red flag. I don't know. Also, I'm not going to be doing the side stories just yet. I kind of want to focus on the main story first before I do that. Matthias? Did something happen just now? Yeah, Yuri just walked away. Eh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh no, not really. Well, damn. I was just making sure you didn't do anything to her. Why? I didn't do shit. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes. Yuri just does this sometimes. It's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I figured we get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Who should I read my poem to first? Let's just read the Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poem yesterday. It's probably only fair if I share mine with her first. Matthias, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What did you expect me to believe? What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each other. We'll each do our own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. This is the same poem! Yeah, I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has something to do with, sophisticated stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you doing great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight onto the wordplay. Like I set up a rhyme at the end. Then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Okay. Monica. Who should I read my poem to next? Monica, I guess. Hi, Matthias. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going... I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Matthias. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. Well, it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Matthias. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's very metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know, Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is totally detached from reality. Detached from reality? I don't mean that like that's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head. That's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must have been really starved for social interaction. So don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing, looking for a long time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. We all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time. So I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my own poem now. Anyways, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the Wall. I don't think I remember reading this one. He wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. With my burned eyes, I can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling, playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air that I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there, swallowing my fears. I brandish my pen. So what do you think? It's very free-form, if that's what you call it. So I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of stuff has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When we perform out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I'm not sure if I know how to put it, but I guess you could say it had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on stronger. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this is if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Where should I read my poem to next? Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say something else? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hurt me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Eh? I guess you're right. Well, what am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? You use your imagery and metaphors to indicate. Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've done a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there have been specific writing habits that are usually typical for new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on that. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they even try to make their own style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. And the end result is that the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many skills and techniques that go into writing, even for a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by an example and trying new things. I also hope that everything else in the club will gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a lecture club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the ember glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by a sickening blue-green light of the future. I bathe, calms, breathing the air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually like your handwriting. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Okay? That's a relief. I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's very descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. Well, I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since our first time meeting, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about ghosts. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Matthias. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you only glanced over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in the web. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is usually beyond symbolical compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot of solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Matthias. Me too. I don't know why, but for some reason, Yuri seems kind of off. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful. What the hell? The music's all distorted again. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's the end. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem, to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? There is clearly something. It's clearly about something. It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? Oh, I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but really, it didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Matthias did, dude. Don't drag me into this. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change it anytime soon unless I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Matthias liked my poem too, you know. He even told me I was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I meant. Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Matthias appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ugh. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Matthias started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking your own insecurities. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. Whoa, what the hell? You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking, you wannabe edgy bitch. Ooh, shit, for real? Edgy? Sorry, my lifestyle isn't too much for someone for your mental age to comprehend. Why is the music distorting? And what the fuck is going on with the screen? See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you really want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality by dressing and acting cute? The only thing cute about you is how hard you try. Well, be careful. Be careful, or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Matthias know everything you really think. I'm sure He'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns towards me, as if she noticed I was standing. Matthias, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Whoa, what the hell? Yo, what's going on? Yo. What the fuck? Whoa, what the fuck? Wait, what is going on? What the hell? Excuse you? Hey Matthias, why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get in a... They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. You don't say. Let me save just in case. And let me do this. I'll be right back. I have to do something right quick.